Bihari is superior to all. By the way, top-class IAS, IITS and IIM graduates prove this statement to be true. But despite having so much talent, no good industry wants to come to this state. By the way, CM Nitish Kumar says that Bihar is a landlocked area, where major industries run away from this state due to lack of ports. But does this statement of Nitish Kumar fully state the truth? Not at all. Because there are many other states like Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, Delhi and Madhya Pradesh which are the first choice of companies despite being landlocked. So let's know in detail what is the real truth about major industries not having ports in Bihar. Now friends, there is no doubt that having a port near any industry is very beneficial for them because they get a better transport facility through which they can easily access marine resources. But on the contrary, companies are trying to establish their industries in those areas which are far away from ports. For example, let's take Rajasthan, Haryana, and Punjab. Rajasthan is the largest producer of mustard, mustard seeds, millet, and millets, while milk and spices are the second largest in India. There are more than 40,000 industries here including textile, cement, ceramic, and auto. Now if we talk about Haryana, this state has been the hub of automobile manufacturing for years and it has grown rapidly in the field of IT. And if we talk about Punjab, it is the second largest producer of wheat, but there are also sectors like IT companies, leather work, semiconductors, and sporting goods. So in this case, to say that the industries do not want to go to Bihar because there is no port, according to me, this statement does not justify at all. But friends, should I tell you an interesting thing? Bihar was not always so far from industrialization, but a few decades ago, it used to be a major trading hub. In fact, Bihar is rich in fertile land and a large number of crops are grown here. In addition to this, Bihar's royal lychees, maize, and guava are also very famous in the country and abroad, whose supply used to be at a very high level. During the British rule, Patna also emerged as a major trading center and after independence, where there was almost no industrialization in the country. Bihar and West Bengal were the industrial spots of the country. Actually, there were a lot of minerals in Bihar, so companies wanted to be located near these mines so that they did not have to spend much time or money in transporting raw materials or minerals. Now friends, since most of the industries were going towards Bihar only, PM Jawaharlal Nehru in 1952 brought the freight equalization policy and started subsidizing the cost of transporting goods. Now it is obvious that after getting the subsidy, companies did not have to stop in other states like Bihar or other mines for raw materials or minerals and industries could be established anywhere in the country. Apart from this, the industries that were already present there also stopped due to bad policies and many other problems. In this way, the image of Bihar that used to flourish, started to deteriorate with time. But the thing to note is that in the last 40 to 50 years, there has been industrialization in many such states or cities which used to be far behind in terms of development. But then the question arises that why this change was not seen in Bihar? Actually, friends, there are many major reasons behind it. The first is the unavailability of land in Bihar. It is difficult for companies to get this land in Bihar. Because the land here is very fertile, due to which more than 56% of the land in Bihar is farmed. About 80% of the population of this state is dependent on agriculture. And this is the reason that there are two major problems in obtaining land. First is that the people here are dependent on agriculture, which is the only source of income. The second reason is that people here usually have small pieces of land, but to set up a factory, they need a large area. In such a case, if a company wants to buy land here, it has to talk to a lot of people and agree to sell the land. Now, if the government also wants to give land to a company, then it becomes very complicated and difficult work. In other words, taking land from people of Bihar becomes a very time-taking process and many problems have to be faced. Economists who give the second reason for not entering the industries in Bihar are: bad business history. Bihar was a big producer of sugar and rice until a few years ago, but 2,000 out of 3,000 rice mills in the state have been closed. And 18 out of 33 sugar mills have been closed. And this is the reason that in 1960, 40% of the country's sugar was produced by Bihar alone, which has now reduced to only 2%. Now, the reason behind the closure of these rice mills was the fraud and illegal revenue of crores, while the sugar mills were closed due to the government's coercion. For example, in 1952, many farmers gave their land to a private company, after which the Virisliganj sugar mill was established. The central government had also awarded this mill with a gold medal. But in 1977, the Bihar State Sugar Corporation took over this mill and ran it very unorganizedly for the next 16 years. Because of this, it was finally closed in 1993. In addition, in 1974, a paper mill was also started in Saharsa's Bainatpur village, whose goal was to make 5 tons of paper daily. But due to lack of funds, this mill was also closed in 1987. This factory was built on 50 acres of land where earlier poor farmers used to farm and feed themselves. That is, they lost their land and the mill was also not there. You will be surprised to know that Scooters India Limited also set up a factory in Fatua, Bihar where Vijay Super Scooter was made. Apart from this, 80 kilometers away from Patna, in Madhora, there was a company of molten chocolate and many other factories. Bihar was also famous for making paper mills. But gradually, these industries were affected and Bihar lost its precious jewels due to its poor system. 3. Weak policy implementation. Now friends, the Bihar government makes many new policies to invite industries, but when it comes to implementing them, then the companies get nothing but disappointment. In 2015, the Nitish government started a policy called post-production policy. Under this, first the owners have to establish their factory in Bihar. After this, the government will provide them subsidies or other benefits. But looking at the government's past record, the companies could not attract this policy. Because in 2006, Nitish Kumar came up with such an industry policy which looked very profitable for the companies. But under this policy, those who set up their factories got nothing but disappointment. Actually, the subsidies that the Bihar government was going to provide them were never given to them. There were many cases in this matter and in 2010, the Patna High Court also put a lot of pressure on the authorities for this. Many companies claim that going to court and fighting for a long time for a subsidy is a complete waste of time. Therefore, it would be better to give a 500 crore fund to startups under this policy. But there are many such entrepreneurs who complain that they never got any subsidy from the government. But because of all these reasons, the business owners had an idea that if they want to establish their industry in Bihar, then they will not get any support from the government. 4. Dirty casteism politics. If we look at history, there was never a case of casteism in politics. But since RJD's chief Lalu Yadav became the Prime Minister, there has been a lot of craze for him among the lower castes. And why not, when he was only promising to give them respect instead of development? The result of this politics was that development was no longer an issue for people and industrialization took its toll. Crime in Bihar increased a lot and after 7 p.m., people were afraid to leave their homes because their bikes or cars were snatched on the way. Casteism had increased so much that even innocent people or IAS officers were not scared of criminals. Social justice had become a major problem there, and why would any company establish a factory in such an environment? However, this is all a long time behind the development of Bihar. Even Nitish Kumar is taking new steps for development like new cement factories and ethanol plants. Apart from this, the government is continuously supporting youth and entrepreneurs through programs like Uddhami Bihar, Samriddha Bihar campaign, entrepreneurship award and innovation challenges. How successful the government is with all these efforts? What is your opinion about the absence of industries in Bihar? Do tell us in the comments.